Hi guys, and welcome back to Beauty Fortified. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Sue, and today I'm talking about the #1 de Chanel Revitalising Foundation. Now this is their latest product release. I did manage to get my hands on a little sample of the foundation, so I thought I would give it a review and a wear test for you, and we can just see how this foundation fares. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about the foundation, then I'm going to go on to the application, and then I'm going to give my final thoughts at the end of the video. So there will be timestamps down below if you want to skip to a specific section. So a little bit about this foundation. It does come as part of a skincare line, and it's something a little bit different from Chanel. And here's what they say about the foundation. So they say that it illuminates, moisturizes, and protects. They say that it's a buildable foundation with a luminous finish, and it's enriched with red camellia oil. Now, the red camellia flower is central to this whole range. They say that the formula softens skin and helps protect against environmental aggressors. They say that with this line, Chanel seeks to minimize its environmental impact with sustainably developed formulas that contain up to 97% of naturally derived ingredients. Each product is housed environmentally sound packaging for a reduced carbon footprint without cellophane or paper leaflets. Containers are crafted with lighter weight glass, and glass packaging is printed with organic ink, and they've replaced all the paper packaging with QR codes which provide information on the product digitally. So this is quite a big step for Chanel. A little bit about the key ingredients. So this foundation is infused with skincare ingredients. The heart of the collection, they say, is the red camellia flower, whose revitalizing powers and extraordinary energy give it perennial youth. Red camellia oil delivers comfort and helps maintain skin's barrier function. Immediately after application, the complexion appears more radiant, comfort is restored, and after 1 month, the skin looks smoother. So obviously a lot of skincare ingredients in the foundation. I've never been one that really looks for skincare in foundation. I would prefer to keep my skincare separate. And also the more skincare ingredients there are in a foundation, obviously the more it pushes up the price, and that's definitely the case with this foundation. I also don't generally enjoy an SPF in my foundations. Chanel does not have, there is no SPF in this foundation, so that's a good thing. So a little bit about my skin. I'm 51 years old. I have normal to combination skin. I do have enlarged pores, fine lines, and wrinkles, and I don't generally enjoy a dewy foundation because I find that it does tend to exacerbate my pores. So I'm always very open to trying luminous or dewy foundations. So I definitely wanted to give this a go. So we're going to go on to the application, and I'll be back with my thoughts right at the end of the video as to how this foundation performed. I've prepped my skin and put on my sunscreen. Today I'm using the La Roche-Posay Charcoal Fluid, and I've also applied a little bit of concealer in my eye makeup. The concealer that I'm using is also by Chanel, and it's Le Corrector, and I'm in the color B31. So the little sample that I got in store, I'm normally B40 in the Chanel foundations. The lady matched it in store, and because of the store lighting, she thought that I would probably be a B30 in this. Now just applying it, I can see it's a tad light, so I probably could have gone for the B40. But that's fine. This is supposed to be very sheer, so it's probably going to be a decent match for my skin. Now they do say that you can apply it with fingers or a brush. I'm going to apply it with a brush today. So just dotted a few dots on, and I'm now going to just buff it out. Oh, it's beautiful. It's really smooth, and it's really blending beautifully. It also seems to be blurring my pores, which is really good. It does have a fragrance, so it's got the typical Chanel fragrance, which I don't mind at all. Really is blending in quite beautifully to the skin, and I can get away with this color, but I probably would prefer the B40 for summer. But this is really blending out beautifully, and it really is a light layer, so I would say It's probably light to medium coverage. You could build it up, I'm sure. The texture is just gorgeous. It is giving me a little bit of a glow, but it's not a radiance. When they use the word radiance on foundations, it makes me quite nervous because of my enlarged pores, and also because I have combination oily, normal combination skin. So, but I don't know, there seems to be a subtle difference between illuminating and radiance. I know that it's just semantics, but they say this is illuminating, and it is. It's not giving me a really oily kind of vibe. It's just giving me beautiful glowy vibe. So it's really looking gorgeous. It's not settling into my pores at first glance, and it's blended out beautifully with a brush. I'm going to apply just a tiny bit more to my cheek area because I do have a little bit of redness, a couple of blemishes, just a little bit, but it's quite highly pigmented, so a little bit does go a long way. But it really is looking quite gorgeous. So we do have a very, very hot day here today. It's 33 degrees. It is just, and there's no wind. So it really is an exceptionally hot day. So it is quite a good day to be trying out a foundation. Although it's not an everyday kind of temperature. So if it can survive this kind of temperature, then I think it's really something quite special. So we're going to see. We're going to see how it performs. But I'm really happy with that coverage. So it's one light layer, and it's covered up everything that I needed to. Because it's such a hot day today, I am looking for something with a little bit of a lighter wear or a lighter texture. And this really fits the bill. It's gorgeous. I am going to powder it down just a little bit. And today I'm going in with something slightly different. I thought it would be sacrilege to use my Maybelline Fit Me over a Chanel foundation. So I'm going in with the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish. And this is a finishing powder that does give you just a little hint of glow. It's supposed to perfect your pores. And I'm in the shade Medium Plus. I've used this a couple of times. I haven't quite made up my mind about it, to be honest, but we're gonna try it with a foundation today. So just taking a little bit on a brush, I'm just going to powder down my T-zone and the really shiny areas. This is not a mattifying powder, so it doesn't really claim to absorb oils, but it does give you a beautiful, flawless finish. And I think it's perfect for over a foundation like this. But of course, we're going to see how it wears. But it really is a lovely, it just gives you a sort of hint of a glow. It's not a mattifying powder. So I'm going to add a little bit of blush. I'm going in with a powder blush. And today I'm going in with Melba by MAC. It's a really nice kind of everyday blush. Let's get a blush brush here. So I'm just going to gently apply it and just see how it applies over the foundation. The foundation's not moving around, it's staying intact. So that's really good. Really goes nicely with the foundation. No movement of the foundation at all. So that is a good sign. So I'm just going to dot that gently. I do like to pat in my blush as opposed to sweeping it over my cheeks because my skin is not as taut as it once was. And I just find that this is a gentler, easier way of applying blush. It's just to gently pat it in. So I'm going to apply a little bit of lipstick, and then I'm going to come back and have an overall look at the application and the foundation. and we'll see you in a bit. So just taking a closer look at the foundation 5 minutes after application, I must say my skin is really looking quite flawless. It looks like skin. It's a really nice medium coverage. It just blends in. It's not settling into my fine lines and wrinkles. It's just giving me a beautiful, overall, really smooth complexion. So we're going to see how this lasts throughout the day in really high heat, and I'll be back to let you know how it fares. Hi guys, so I've now had the foundation on for a good solid 8 hours. It has been 33 degrees in the shade here today, so it's been an extremely hot day. So what have I discovered? Well, just looking at the foundation, it is looking quite shiny at the moment. I have blotted down. I blotted down once at around about the 3 or 4 hour mark, but I haven't powdered or anything else. I've just reapplied my lipstick. But it is looking very, very good. So shiny, but it hasn't kind of melted away. It has worn off in the obvious areas where I've been wearing my sunglasses, so it has worn off across my nose. And it is amplifying my pores just a little bit, and that's because of the shine. So, but it hasn't really settled into pores. It hasn't actually broken up. So I see that it has slid around a little bit, just over here around my 11s. There's just a little bit of movement there. But apart from that, it's really looking quite good. So I've got another event that I'm going to. So I'm not going to be doing another check-in, but I'm not going to retouch my foundation. I'm just going to blot down a little bit and just see what that does. So we're just going to see if that's going to help a little bit with the shine. And already that is a vast improvement. And then my forehead as well is very shiny. So there is a little bit of transfer on this foundation. You can see when I blot down as well, there is a little bit of transfer. So I can see once I've blotted that it is definitely fading. So I generally need my foundations to last about 8 hours. I think that's a good innings for any foundation on my normal combination skin. So I really think that this has held up really well. I think it would do even better if it wasn't such a hot day. I think it would really be able to hold its own, but there are not many foundations that are going to hold up in this kind of heat. So I'm very, very impressed. It just gives a really kind of skin-like finish with just a little bit of glow to it, just to make the skin kind of come alive. So it really is beautiful. I've no complaints. I mean, I think it has really kind of held up. So it's definitely one I would recommend. Obviously it is on the higher priced spectrum, but I think that's what you're paying for when you are paying for a high-end foundation. I think they do generally perform quite a lot better than their cheaper counterparts. So I guess you get what you pay for in this case, but I would highly recommend it. I think if you've got dry skin, you'll absolutely love it, and if you have normal combination skin, you can definitely wear it as well. Just add a little bit of powder and I think you're good to go. So would highly recommend. So guys, if you've tried this foundation, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave your comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.